I mean, it's hard to believe we're coming up on almost 7 years, or it is 7 years in May. You know, you as I mentioned before, I think when I had you guys as a group last week or earlier this week, whenever it was, no, it's not, it was last week. Today's only Wednesday, right? Is today Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday.
Yeah, today's Wednesday, okay. All day. You know, we live in such a fast news cycle, 24-hour news cycle. You know, within 10 hours or so, they'll forget about who we played yesterday. But that tragedy can't get lost in yesterday's news cycle. And I think everyone around Howard, and specifically the circle of people that really helped push on this documentary with the intent that we don't want to let this story die. And that's not because it's a horrific story, you want to keep telling bad things, but it's also a reminder of what real life can be like, and it gives you some perspective. And obviously John Roach did a great job of putting together the documentary. It is very emotional. It was emotional filming it. When he interviewed me for it, it was emotional me watching it. Every time I watched it, you know, it just takes you back to a time that seems surreal. How the hell can something this bad happen to this family and to somebody so outgoing and so helpful to other people, that has done so much for other people? So I think what the intent was, obviously, for everybody that can get out there and see that from, you know, I know it unveils tomorrow night at Marcus Point Theater, and the panels that will go on. I'll be on the panel tomorrow night. It'll be a little busy Friday night, but other people, I know Stan Van Gundy's coming in to be on one. I know some former players are going to be up there. I think Jarrell's going to be there at some point in time. But just to, you know, the proceeds obviously will help the Howard Moore family and help Howard with his ongoing care, which is, it's, you know, pretty consistent full-time care that he needs. And you know, the responsibility and burdens that's put on Howard Sr. and Trennis to you know, care for their son and raise their grandson. It just things like, as you start thinking about and replaying the actual event and all the things that happened because of the event and how people's lives were forever changed. Obviously, you have, you know, Jaden and Jennifer, that lives were lost, but and that, like I said, that forever changing of lives didn't stop in May of 2019 or in June of 2019 when he had his heart attack. That's ongoing every day. And you know, I get somewhat removed from it, because not that you don't think about him, because our offices are named after the Moore family and I see it every day, but you get so caught up in today's world and that you lose sight of, holy, that really happened. I mean, and I remember going through it at that time. It's like it was like I was in a bad dream. Like, when are you gonna wake up from this day after day? And you know, that early morning phone call that I got, and then the flight to Michigan, and then everything that transpired from that, and then the day that we found out he was being rushed to UW Hospital with a heart attack. It was like, what? This can't be real. This can't be something this tragic doesn't happen to people. Right? This is something you see in a movie that's made up by Steven Spielberg or something. Like, life isn't this bad, and it was, and it is. But that family is as courageous and as strong as any people I've ever met on earth, and they've tried to take what was such a horrendous event and time in their lives and tried to, in any way possible, spin it to a positive to help others. And it's a great lesson for all of us. So hopefully people can get out, all you viewers and listeners out there, and those that read your stuff, that you can get out there, obviously the 13th through the 19th. I mentioned the panels. They can go to aroadatnight.com to get more info. I don't know the exact show times. I think it's multiple times each night.
Yep.
And hopefully the attendance and turnout is so good that Marcus will decide to run it longer, and that would be awesome, because that would be more beneficial for ultimately for Howard and his family.